Hello everyone, so this is Shilpi Thapar again with another episode of Director Series, and on a very popular demand, we are again with some psychological topic for boardrooms, that is psychological safety in boardrooms. So I think boardrooms is a space where major decisions are taken, strategies are shaped and conflicts are navigated. But for these spaces to function effectively, they must foster an environment where directors and leaders feel safe to express their thoughts, share innovative ideas and challenge assumptions without the fear of judgment. So psychological safety is not just a buzzword, but it's a foundational element of effective corporate governance and decision making process. Study shows that the boards with high psychological safety are better equipped to handle crisis, make informed decisions and drive long-term success. Yet achieving this level of trust and openness requires deliberate effort, self-awareness and deep understanding of human behavior. So to study this critical aspect of corporate governance, that is emotional dynamics, we are having a very distinguished and well-known psychologist, Dr. Shilpa Jasubhai, and ma'am, who doesn't know you in Ahmedabad. So she's a doctorate in psychology, having over 17 years of experience, well associated with leading hospitals like Jidus Hospital, National Institute of Design, NID, MICA, and many other leading health care institutions. She has expertise in therapies like brain gym, optimal running, vision circle, whole brain learning, educational psychology, NLP, hypnotherapy, art therapy, EFT, quantum focusing, CBT, inner child matrix. She has various published papers and conducted webinars and workshops nationally and internationally. For her exceptional work, she received the International Leadership Award as an innovative researcher from RULA in coordination with United Medical Council and United World Council in 2020, and also awarded as a Golden Researcher of the Year, awarded by ISSN. Ma'am, so thank you so much for coming here, and really honored. And this is a so critical, aspect. I think we believe that corporate governance is just a compliances of laws and regulations, but I believe it is understanding of the human behavior and dealing with that emotional dynamics,
right.
So that you can take an informed decision, because huge stakeholder interests are involved in the organization.
Absolutely.
So I think, thanks for coming, and we very much look forward for the insightful views on the topic, ma'am. So to start with the topic, ma'am, the first question I'll put to you is, what are some common thinking patterns or biases that corporate directors should be aware of, and how do this affect the decisions in the boardrooms?
Basically, boardroom members should be aware of how their unconscious thinking pattern affect their decisions and their dynamic, the boardroom dynamics.
Right.
There are a couple of main things, and basically what is cognitive bias? So it is like a repeated error in the thinking. Like our brain relies on past experiences, beliefs, assumptions, preferences while taking decisions. So which we are not aware of.
Right.
So these are happening at the unconscious level, which we are not aware of, and what are the difference? So when you know the different types of cognitive biases, you can work on it.
Right. So ma'am, so I am also a psychological enthusiast, and I have read that there are two kind of thinking habits. Like one is confirmation bias, like what I am thinking is right. And
Confirmation bias is basically it's a person basically tends to rely on this information which supports their assumptions or their beliefs, existing beliefs and values.
Right.
So they don't go into the detail, or they don't let me give you an example. Like Mark joined a company as a manager, and Bob had already joined before Mark, and Bob had joined immediately after the high school. He didn't have any degree or certificate, and Bob assumed that because Mark doesn't have the degree, he's not as capable of as others.
Right.
And he kept on assigning him less challenging jobs. But one of his colleagues pointed out that why are you not including Bob in the new job, in the new project? So that's when his performance is so good. That's when Mark realized that oh, it's like
It was my confirmation bias, yes.
That
Yes.
was my wrong thinking, my wrong assumption that
Right.
people who don't have degree
Right.
will not be as capable or
Right.
of handling
Yes,
challenges.
this is a very common issue in corporates, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very common issue in corporates. So, ma'am,
The other bias is anchoring bias.
okay.
Where it's a human tendency to rely on first-hand information and ignore the other information, the
Perspectives.
challenging information which doesn't agree with their assumptions and their beliefs.
Okay. On the same point, it happens. It also happens with me also. Like I have I have a certain brands where I go. I don't
Yeah.
explore the other brands. So I'm very much into that. Suppose if I want a particular dress or a particular item. So I have figured out this 5-6 brands and I stick to that. But sometimes I feel that I should have explored more.
Yeah.
It happens in the shopping also actually.
Exactly,
Yes.
in everything, like
Yes.
even in the food also.
Yes.
We have one track.
One restaurant
Yeah.
is fixed. We don't
one
explore
track
here and there.
Yeah. So it the
So it
creative
is advisable to do that, to explore the things and
It's because otherwise, how will you develop critical
so you don't get
thinking?
confused if you
No.
explore more.
If you explore more, the experience will teach you, right? When you explore
Yes.
more, you will at least, even in the corporate world, when they explore other options, how will they know whether it will work or not work?
Yes, that happens in the boardroom also.
Yeah, and when you fall, you will learn, right?
Yes.
From the mistake only.
Right.
When you make, like if you take a situation, if there are 99% wrong and 1% is right, always going to be right.
Right.
So we need to learn to focus on the 1% and ignore the 99.
Right. So the perspectives has to be heard.
Heard.
And then the decisions have to be taken.
Correct.
What fits best in that situation.
Absolutely.
Fantastic, man.
The other biases are like group thinking.
Yes, group thinking, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
where people don't speak up when there is a dominant opinion in or a very influential person
Yes,
is talking.
yes, yes.
Other people shy out and they don't give the opinion.
That is very common, ma'am. In the boardrooms, you see this practice very common. That suppose if the promoter is sitting or a chairman is sitting, so
Yeah, there's a fear of
you have
judgment.
final say.
Yeah,
People
criticize.
hold back actually their views that what other person will think or how it will influence our relationship with that other person. So because of that, wrong decisions are taken most
And
often.
even the decisions are not taken from a broad. They don't get a broad view.
Exactly. Because if one person is thinking, one
Yeah.
person is taking decisions, so how are you going to get a broad perspective?
Exactly, and there is overconfidence bias also.
So how to overcome this, ma'am?
Basically, what you can do is first of all understand the different biases.
Right.
Right? What are the different? You can read about it.
Yes.
You can attend courses on like a Coursera or Udemy. They have cognitive biases courses.
A lot of
or
books are
decision
there.
making.
A lot of audio
And
audio
books like Thinking Fast,
Fast and Slow. That's very famous
yeah.
book.
And then Noise, the like flaw in human judgment.
Exactly.
By Daniel
Right.
Kahneman.
Right.
Then another book is Predictably Irrational.
Right.
Or there is the upside of irrationality by Dan Ariely.
Yes.
So these kind of books also helps.
Yes.
And other thing is like being self-aware.
Yes.
Monitor your thoughts.
Yes.
Write down, create a journal. Write down what are the emotional triggers you are having while taking decisions. And whenever you take a decision, slow down.
Yes.
Because in like a lot of time, like when you are impulsive or intuitive, it leads to wrong decisions.
And listening is it's a very important aspect actually.
Exactly.
And it's a very difficult habit to form.
Yes.
We
we
don't listen, we react.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we normally, when you are in an authoritative position, people are listening to find either flaws,
Yes.
Judge,
Yes.
or
Yes.
immediately counter argue.
And I have seen, ma'am, the highest of the personalities, they fall because they don't listen.
Yeah.
Because when you don't listen, you are into that limited sphere.
Absolutely.
What other people are playing, what tricks they are playing with you, you will not understand. So it is very
Right.
important to listen to a person, to I think to study the body language, non-verbal signs and all
Yes,
that.
yes.
It's very important, and I think this is a basic education which every school should give.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No school gives
No.
emotion.
Yeah.
Teaches how to
Emotional
handle
dynamics.
emotions.
Yeah.
All the subjects are covered, but how to handle
It is
emotions
missing
is
in
not
our
taught.
educational curriculum, ma'am. It is
Yeah.
a very important aspect. And nowadays, with the increasing disputes and the new generation coming up with so much technology and information overloading,
Yeah.
I think this is a basic.
The new trend is like every answer Google will give.
Yes,
And
don't
AI
apply
will
your
give.
mind, no critical thinking.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So
ma'am.
it is blocking their thinking process.
Exactly, ma'am. Fantastic, ma'am. Ma'am, we move to the second question. How can directors learn to recognize and manage their own biases and thinking habits?
Like we said, they can read about it, they can attend courses, they can even watch TED Talks
Right.
or see videos online. Then they can have self-awareness, like they can monitor their thinking.
Right.
So whenever they are taking a decision, if they've taken a decision, they can go through the decision
Right.
and find out how they reached the decision.
Right.
So while retrospecting, while rewinding
Right.
and going through their own decision, they will be able to find the flaws.
Right.
What are the blind spots,
Right.
and they can improve on it.
Right.
And regular finding the triggers where what emotion is triggering the decision. This will also help them, keep a watch on their own emotions, their own biases.
Right.
And it will when you challenge your own thought.
Right.
So bouncing back to the wall and coming back, you're playing a tennis with the ball.
Right.
So that will also help you improve your critical thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good technique.
Yeah. When you challenge your own thoughts,
Yes.
keep challenging, so you will reach where you are thinking out of the box.
Yes.
And another thing is mindful techniques also help you find your unconscious, automatic thoughts. A lot of time our automatic thoughts also affect our decision.
So
Process.
any kind of decision making models you will suggest, because see what happens when I am in the boardroom, what I normally see.
Strategy like pros and cons.
Yes. So in the boardrooms, ma'am, what happened? We don't have a time to become self-aware or investigate our thinking habits. We need to take on the spot high stake decisions
Right,
actually.
right,
The
right.
strategies and policies and all that. So when you're working in the group, obviously dynamics are different. You have to balance and everything needs to be done. And your voice you should have to make sure that your voice is also heard. And which is a challenge for almost all the directors, all the
Correct.
corporate leaders.
Correct.
So in that case, how to navigate this challenge?
See, first of all, when you are in a very high pressure environment,
Yes.
Your body and mind both are stressed.
Stress, yes, ma'am.
Correct?
Yes.
Cortisol level is high.
Exactly.
So taking a 30-second of break and doing a breathing exercise, you are reducing the cortisol level and automatically you are coming into the present, which is kind of a
Be
mindfulness.
mindful, yes.
Yeah.
Be in present.
Be in the present will allow you to at least be present and respond and not react.
So what happens, no, ma'am, when you are in this high level stake environment and high pressured environment, in the meetings and all that. So two process is going on simultaneously in the body.
Yeah.
You have to listen everybody and you have to process that information and then you have to think on that also. So I think that is a very difficult, a dynamic for anybody
Yeah.
to tolerate actually, because listening is also going on. You have to think on that point.
Correct.
You have to give your.
Yeah, it's like a multitasking.
It's very difficult for the professionals. I
Yeah.
face the same issue because as a consultant, you have to be very alert.
Yeah.
You are advising the clients actually. So you have to listen to everyone. You have to see the body language.
Correct.
You have to think on that aspects as far as the legal aspects are concerned, as far as the moral aspects are concerned, and then you have to guide them and give your
So
expertise
mindfulness
on
will
that.
help, because every day practicing mindfulness techniques, like when you are doing a breathing exercise, see 5 things.
Yes.
Then listen to the 5 noises.
Right.
5 tastes.
Yes.
5 things that you feel.
Right.
So it will teach you to be mindful and to be in the present.
Right.
When you are in the present, all your senses are open.
Yes. That's very important.
So when you working with all senses open,
Yeah.
you are able to do all the tasks,
Exactly.
multitask well.
Fantastic, ma'am. Any decision making models, particular which we can adopt?
Basically keeping a track of your emotions, and when you are taking that is again being mindful of your emotions and your biases. That will not affect your
Yeah.
all your. And another this Harvard has a test called implicit association test, which will tell you your which will help you identify your unconscious biases.
Okay, so it's a self-test?
Yeah, it's
Online
like
test.
I don't know, it's an online or not, but Harvard has a test,
Harvard test, okay.
implicit association test,
Okay.
which helps in identifying your
Great. So
unconscious
emotional
biases.
intelligence and social intelligence clubbed
Yeah,
together. Yes.
yeah.
It's very important,
So-
yes.
And you can keep every day you can write down your list of emotions that you
That's very
experience.
important, ma'am. That's very important. Journaling
So-
is the best technique
Yeah.
actually.
So when you write down the emotions that you
Clears your mind.
experience, you will be able to see where which emotion affected your decision.
affected your decision. Excellent. I think that's the best technique.
Yeah.
Great, ma'am. Great. Ma'am, we move to the next question. What step can directors take to create a boardroom where everybody feel free, to express their views without a fear of judgment?
Creating the where every member feels safe is very important. Is very crucial to develop trust and encourage them to cooperate and be creative.
Yes.
So the board member can first of all do is be open, discussing their own problems,
Right.
their own challenges,
Right.
and their own mistakes.
Hmm.
So that it eases out the other board members that they can also share their
Yes,
challenges
yes.
and their fears,
Yes.
their mistakes.
Yes.
And whenever the director finds a mistake, it can make it a point that it is taken as a learning process
Exactly.
rather than
Blaming
punishment
anybody, yeah.
or blaming anybody.
Blaming game should not
And
be
most
there.
important, like you said, listening to board members.
That's very
effectively.
important, yeah.
It's very, very important. So the board members should feel that they are heard.
Right.
And body language like gesturing, nodding with hand movement,
Right.
validate what they are saying, what they are feeling.
Right.
And and they make it compulsory to have the feedback.
Right.
And appreciate them, thank them, even if you use their feedback is coming, whether information is useful or not,
Right.
thank them personally, individually.
Right.
And whenever you are using very information is coming useful, publicly recognize, publicly appreciate them.
Yes, yes.
So board member get encouraged to participate and
So that kind of corporate culture of openness and free
even
communication should be there.
periodically playing games like egg drop,
Okay.
improv,
Okay.
or escape room. These helps in building skills like creativity, problem solving, team building.
Right.
So, and it also brings the people together and on a same platform. Then they don't feel like, okay, there is a hierarchy
Disconnected.
and
Yes.
disconnected.
Yes, yes. Excellent, ma'am. I think this is a need of an hour in every organization.
Yeah, and they can provide even workshops and all on active listening, effective communication.
Patience, tolerance.
Yeah.
That is missing actually. Fantastic, ma'am. And ma'am, one more thing, just I need to clear it out here, that how the directors can balance the openness while maintaining the professionalism in decision making process. I want to express, I'm very open, but then I have to maintain my professionalism also. That line should not be crossed. So how
See,
it can
the
be done?
body language
How it can be
matters. You
done?
are the first.
Yes.
Like being firm in your communication, not fumbling,
Right.
and maintaining the body posture which shows the confidence.
Right.
At the same time, they feel comfortable, they feel safe.
Right. Right.
That is very important because, like we say in communication, that words are only 7%.
Yes. Yes.
93% is what we don't even speak.
Right.
So, body language, your body gestures is extremely important.
Right.
Eye contact is
That's
extremely important because when you don't maintain eye contact, people feel neglected.
Yes. And there, I have read somewhere that there is a proper structure of maintaining the eye contacts also.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that is also when you can read what is going on in the other person's mind
yeah,
without offending anybody.
exactly.
Yeah. So I think all things should be taught in school, ma'am. These are elementary things actually.
Yeah, and because you are open, you want to share things with, but we need to learn certain boundaries
Yes.
as a profession, as a because you're sitting in a chair
Yes.
where you have to maintain your stature also.
Stature also, your dignity also. Right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And and I deal with a lot of promoters, who are handling a very big empires, and very common in all these promoters is that they are emotionally very strong people,
Yeah.
and they know how to respect the professionals, they know how to listen to the people, and amazing skills
very
are there,
mindful
emotional
of
skills.
their-
Yes, yes. That
they are
is
very
why you reach
mindful.
at that level actually.
It's because they are very
Very
mindful.
common.
They
in
are
everybody.
present in
Yes,
the moment.
Yes, yes.
And for that, meditation and all is must.
Yes, yes, yes.
Calming your
Yes, fantastic.
mind is and 7 hours of sleep is necessary.
7 hours of sleep. That's very important.
Very
Your
important.
mind is everything. ma'am.
Yeah.
Mind. Brilliant. Okay, ma'am. The last question: how do emotions impact the board discussions, and what can directors do to stay resilient and handle emotions effectively? I think emotion plays a very important part
Yeah.
everywhere.
Exactly. There are a number of studies done that how emotion affects, emotion plays a major role in decision making process. Like in the individual's ability to understand others, or how they process information, affect the decision making and judgment. So when we become aware of our emotions and how it affects our choices, we'll be able to find the flaws or even the biases that we are having unconsciously.
Right.
So what they can do is, like emotions like positive emotions. A lot of time positive emotions help us take good decisions, right?
Right.
But excessive positive emotions leads to biases.
Biases. Yes.
Overconfidence.
People say we are very positive.
Yeah.
very I have told
It
many.
leads to overconfidence
Yes,
bias.
yes, ma'am. That's
And
true.
group thinking bias.
Which is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So negative emotions are also good,
Yeah,
but then should
negative
balance.
emotions like fear, jealousy, you see the in-group dynamic, there is
yes.
a lot.
You should learn from. You should
Yeah.
not imbibe them.
Yeah.
That's
So like fear, anxiety,
Hmm.
they all affect the decisions, and they can here again you go into either impulsive decisions or taking high risk decisions because of the fear.
Yes, I think impulsive decisions are mostly based on jealousy and your anxiety.
Or maybe will be left out.
Left out. Yes, that's basically the jealousy only.
Yeah.
I should not be left out. That's
Correct.
Fantastic, ma'am. What a conversation.
And emotions basically is like resilience, right?
Hmm.
So when a leader is a resilient, they take even the mistakes or a defeat as a growth.
Growth. Yes.
So what is resilience? Resilience, like if you take a rubber band, if you stretch it and when you leave it, it comes back into original position.
Right.
That is how our mind, you stretch and it comes back, is what resilience is.
That we need to learn, ma'am. It comes
Yeah,
with training.
it's like
it comes
bouncing,
with practice.
it's an ability to cope with any adversity effectively or bounce back quickly from any adversity.
You should know
Yeah.
that technique, that how to
Yeah.
bounce back.
I have read a beautiful story about a mom and a daughter.
Okay.
So one day daughter goes to mom's house and talks about how difficult her life is and how tired she is about coping with day to day. If she solves one problem, the next problem is there to pop her. So mother invites her, okay, let's sit in the kitchen. She makes her sit and listens to her daughter talk. She puts 3 pots of water to boil. And in once the water starts boiling, she puts in one pot she puts a carrot. In the second pot she puts an egg, and the third pot she puts coffee beans.
Right.
So after 20 minutes, she takes out all 3 and asks her doctor to, what is all this? She said it is carrot, egg, and coffee. What is there to see? Then she asked her to touch it. Like she touched the carrot, peeled the egg, and smell the coffee. Then doctor asks, what is this all about, mom? So then she says, they all 3 ingredients went through the same adversity, but they reacted differently.
Yes.
Carrot went in strong and strong and came out soft and weak.
Yes.
Right? And loss of hope.
Yes.
Egg went in fragile, like sensitive,
Yes.
and with a hope. Came out strong, very defensive,
Yes.
guarded.
Hard-boiled. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Coffee is the only thing that changed the water.
Yes.
It changed the color, the texture, and the fragrance of the water.
Very good.
Right?
So good news for coffee lovers.
No, it's like the leader who
Yes.
is resilient.
Yes.
Is any adversity,
Yes.
it comes out as a growth and comes out with with the solutions
Solutions.
and learning.
Yes. So that's
So
that
this is
mindset
what
we need to develop.
this is what is resilience is.
Nothing is failure.
No.
Yes.
So you can do a lot of exercises like whenever any negative thoughts are popping up, you can tell your brain, use any word like pause, stop.
Affirmations, yes.
No, pause, stop.
Okay.
Any verb that any word that
Okay.
goes with you
Goes with you.
internally.
Okay.
Like suppose if I am having constant there are monkeys in our brain,
Yes.
right? They're constantly chatting.
Lot of monkeys. Yes.
Yeah, lot of monkeys. They're constantly chattering. So when my monkeys are chattering, I'm not good at. You'll not be able to finish it. You'll not be able to do this.
Yes.
Podcast. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So what I need to do is I need to take a deep breath. I need to tell my brain, tell my monkeys, stop. The stop is a word I can use for myself. And imagine, visualize a big red stop sign.
Okay.
And then instantly, affirmatively, cognitively change, restructure the statements.
Yes.
I can do it, I'm able to do it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
By doing constantly, regularly, creating a habit,
Right.
you are you're quieting your monkeys.
Right. So I read somewhere, ma'am, if you don't act on your thoughts for 30 seconds, no, it will go away. I
Yeah,
think
but
that-
it
that's
will
fine.
go
Sometimes time is there.
away. It will go away, but it will not go away, disappear from your brain.
Yeah, it will sit
It
back
will
of the
sit
mind.
back,
Yes,
yeah, because you're not paying attention. It is
So
there.
permanently you have to discard it.
Yes, and practice affirmation. Like Louis Hayes
Yes,
affirmations are
yes,
very-
it's my favorite. She's nice.
So by creating,
She has a very good prayer. We
Yeah.
can read in the morning, which
Yeah,
is also
please
I also
forgive
read.
me, I'm
Yes,
sorry,
yes, I'm
thank you,
sorry.
I love you.
Yeah.
so which if you practice for your own self, because we never say sorry or thank you to our own self.
Yes. We never give hug to ourselves.
Exactly.
That is most
So-
important thing. First in the morning you should do that.
Absolutely. So practicing even
Which I
in
practice.
even I practice. But even doing affirmations every day, doing breathing is extremely important.
Yes, breathing.
Even that is coming from centuries.
Yes,
Ancestral use of
yogic practice.
yogic practice.
Yes, yes.
And it actually reduces the cortisol and adrenaline levels,
Yes.
and which will help in keeping your mind and body calm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. What a fantastic conversation. We'll disturb you again on many topics on this cognitive, biases and all that. Fantastic, ma'am. And thank you so much for coming here.
My
We are
pleasure.
really honored and hope our viewers, they will get an insightful, beautiful insights on the working of the mind and psychological safety in the boardroom. And I again repeat that the emotional dynamics plays a very important part in the boardroom for taking informed decisions. So think over that, and until next time, thank you so much.
Thank you.